welcome back, guys. Now it is our regular podcast that you guys love listening into us while you're sleeping. You like our beautiful voices soothing you to bed. It's a white noise.
How you doing, Johnson?
All right, weird guy over here.
I'm Guilford Godfrey now.
Awesome. So,
Who the fuck is Guilford Godfrey?
Do you not know Guilford Godfrey?
I've heard of him. I just forget.
I don't know
I
who
love
he is.
him.
Who is he?
He's an old comedian. He has a scraggly voice. He actually, you know what he did? He actually read 50 Shades of Grey as an audiobook.
That's his favorite book.
And I swear to God,
it's
it's the
terrible.
funniest shit in the world.
Say if Snoop Dogg read it.
And Snoop Dogg gonna be.
That'd be awesome. Did you see that commentary that Snoop Dogg did for Animal Planet?
Yes, I
That's
loved
so
it.
so
I
funny.
loved it. It's an oldie but a goodie.
So we'll start this topic off by asking Ish, how you feeling, buddy?
Pretty good, buddy.
Yeah, I heard you had a little bit of an accident a little while ago.
Yeah, buddy. A little injured.
Yeah. Why don't you, without going into details, just explain where the injury is?
It's, you know, they call it, it's the monkey's banana.
Monkey's
Monkey's
banana is in your
banana.
episode.
It's the
So what's the current what's the current story of how
hot
did
dog. It's the jewel protector.
So,
Alright, how did the jewel protector get penetrated?
how did you lose the hat?
Alright, how did the monkey lose the banana?
Are we talking
No,
about
no, there's no. We're not going into detail.
Yeah.
Are we talking
we're not
about
going into detail,
the
but-
horse story?
Long story straight, this guy got an injury, okay? After working hard for the Ukrainian government, taking down Putin and everything, he got a little bit of injury.
Yo, man, that guy who the Wagner group guy still pisses me off.
I know,
Oh
man.
my God, right?
You,
You
if
could've
you were
had
gonna
it.
do it, you had to go through it fully, dog.
You
You
were
could
so
have taken over.
close.
He could have been right now the leader of fucking Russia.
Yeah.
Don't swear.
Oh,
You
fuck.
swore the first 2 seconds into this.
We always swear. This is
All right,
we
every
need
one of
Sean
them.
back.
All right, it's okay. But all right, so continue. So, how is it having an injured monkey's banana?
Yeah, it's just my tool of art.
Mhm.
My children dispenser.
Yeah. So tell people how bad the injury is.
What the fuck's the
You
horse
need to
sound?
go
fucking
into
horse.
detail.
What is the horse sound? Oh, that's your horse story.
The
I've
horse
been
story.
telling people I got kicked by a horse. Okay.
It's better than telling them that it happened on purpose.
Yeah. Everyone whoever he's told that I got kicked by a horse, I'm just gonna continue that lie. I'm telling them, I was like, I'm seeing a specialist. The doctor here messed up. I was like, I'm meeting a Swedish specialist. He's gonna do the first
Fix it for you.
penis transplant surgery.
Oh
on me.
my fucking.
But so, just for the ladies out here, Ish is still very functional. At this moment in time, he
We
may
don't
not be
think he
functional.
is
Right now,
No, he's
it's
not.
But
pain.
how bad is the on a scale? Because most people always think like, oh, I don't want any problems with my genitalia. Like, never want to get hurt down
You
there.
had
But
to
you
wrap
did.
the willy.
So,
I don't think it's as bad as getting hit in the nuts.
Okay, so it's
So like your family jewels, they get crushed. You're like, oh my god.
yeah.
It's not like that,
Okay.
right? But it depends. It's subtle and then sometimes very painful,
Mm-hmm.
right? Second is the blood. Okay.
This guy's on his period right now.
Women, I know how you feel. Okay, I'm here to support
He doesn't actually know how
Yeah,
that.
feminism.
I'm gonna expose Ish. Okay, this guy has had the first successful, horse to man penis transplant.
Yeah,
I call
I'm
bullshit.
seeing a specialist.
Right? If
I told
everyone's-
him get a horse or someone from Africa.
If everybody is wondering why there's a third leg, now you understand.
Yeah.
They're gonna call him Ish third leg.
No.
So Ish, okay.
Sometimes they say.
So the penis is not
horses
as bad as
take
get
over.
kicked in the nuts.
No, but it's sharp. Sometimes, man, suddenly you just rub against something. Like, oh my god!
Oh, you know how you get shin burn? I couldn't even imagine, buddy.
Shin burn.
Yeah. Well, he
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
have thick thighs. He doesn't do leg day, you know.
Yeah,
So,
Shimburn hurts.
It's okay. I mean, not the word. I mean, you haven't been seeing the gym forever. Okay, I don't want to hear this from you. Okay,
When
you don't
I
know
did
what the
see-
gym is. Okay,
When I was there, it hurt.
you think it's a place where fucking people go play grounders or some shit. Or
Yo,
fucking
people don't understand. I want to tell
Oh,
somebody
grounders.
something about jeans, okay? Everyone always asks me why I don't wear jeans, okay? The jeans that I wear are very closely fitted, all right? I try to get loose jeans, but they don't work out too well. They rip. I'm a hairy man. I'm a brown guy. I don't know if you've noticed, okay? The brown people are a little hairy. So when you have a lot of hair and a jean that's so close that it keeps ripping those hairs out, it's not too fun to wear jeans, all right?
I have a design for you. So
How about you just trim it?
You should trim it, but yeah.
No. You know you're manscaping, okay?
No.
There's so much
You
manscaping.
see, all you gotta do is you gotta split the fucking river like Noah's Ark, and you gotta fucking get a nice trim in there.
Just use a trimmer.
Noah's Ark.
No.
It's called the Eagle
Go
Spread.
see your boy at Best Buy. He got me a good one.
I go to the boy.
It's called the Eagle Spread, okay?
Eagle
Not
spread.
Have you not seen what's his name? The power lifter? What's his name? We know one of the Hardy or
Hardy.
Eddie
Hall?
Eddie Hall.
Yeah.
You should see his video. It's pretty funny.
Eddie Hall's a
He teaches you how to do the Eagle Spread. Okay.
If Eddie Hall does it, then it's very masculine, so you can do it.
Yeah.
But what do you think about your boys? I know are the biggest Andrew Tate lover over here.
Fuck no.
He's in Florida, buddy. He's almost in your country. He's very close.
Why would he be in Florida? Why is he in Florida and why do I care?
Miami.
He's in Miami or wherever he is.
Probably. Everyone's probably in Miami.
Yeah, so you're gonna go meet up with your boy?
Why would I go to why would I meet with
You don't
Andrew
like
Tate?
Andrew?
I don't like Andrew Tate.
You like Andrew?
I don't like him, but I'm not 100% on that scale. But I'm like, I like the guy.
I'll tell you what he likes. He's a kickboxer. I'm just giving out relative
No,
news,
he
man.
also has certain points he makes are good. Certain things I think he did.
Everyone has a good or bad. You can't.
Yeah, you can't be 100%. So I think overall he did try to get men to go a certain way that's better, like be more active, think more about business, not just be like kind of weak. But obviously he's a little more too on that side, which is like a 50-50 because like obviously he's done some things that are wrong, and certain aspects of it I do think that go really really far.
Well, Amin.
But he appeals to his
the question.
audience.
The question the audience wants to know: what do you think about his fit game? Is he top tier or negative tier?
Okay, fit game, he's pretty up there.
Okay.
He
Better than me?
has good clothes. You dress horribly. You dress like a homeless man every time we meet up.
See, if we were real
This
boys,
shirt
if you were real
every day.
If you were real boys with me, okay, you'd be like, nah, buddy, rev up your game up here.
But you're still no. That's not even
Rob,
close.
I'm taking you
Fake
shopping
ones over
after
here.
this.
Fake ones.
There's lies and there's
Super lies.
there's just something you can't lie about.
We're taking Rav shopping on Friday. We usually take Sean shopping. We're taking Rav now.
Yeah, well, coming about the tariffs, a real question that I have that I'm iffy about. What do you think about car prices? Do you think car prices are gonna bomb through the roof? Are we gonna sell our entire fleet-ish? Like, what are we thinking?
I think car prices.
Yeah, because here's the thing: it's going into U.S. and other than the steel, I don't think unless we're buying American, I don't think it should.
No,
be
because the problem is the thing is our car manufacturing for us would be in Ontario, but the problem is getting those cars brought to provinces is a whole other issue now because apparently you can't just bring them from Ontario to Alberta. It costs too much money, so that's why people have them taken through the states. And
but
then
most of the state manufacturers are actually in Mexico.
I think
They are.
other than Detroit.
I know about your provincial, but it makes no sense to me.
Exactly.
So I do think that they will change those laws now going into it. So I do think so I don't think anything's gonna happen immediately to car prices because there's a lot of cars that are already built here. If the cars already cost a certain amount, they want to sell them. They're not going to randomly raise the price. But the new cars, obviously transporting back in and out of Canada is going to be rough.
Yeah,
I was taking a video on the car parts. They start off in the States. They make them into a certain way. They send them to Canada. They develop them into the rotors and everything they need. Then they send them back to the States, and then they send them back to Canada. So once they do their approval, make sure everything's good, then they send them to Canada and Ontario to manufacture. Then they send them to the States to sell. It's a back and forth process.
This is the dumbest thing in the world.
It didn't make a lot of sense to me too. I was looking at Ford's game. I was like, Ford, I think you know why your margins are up there, but you got to do this.
Second thing is, there's one thing that I do think. Why is, let's say, Elon efficient in building like rockets for cheap? You got to have everything at one place. You can't be having travel because then you can find out the problems fast, manufacture quick.
Basically, this, let's go. You're talking about Ford right now. Why not go back to Henry Ford's original plan? Because everything was made in house for Ford. That's why he wanted Brazil because Brazil had a lot of rubber for tires. He fucked up in Brazil, but at the same time, he kept everything in house. He made everything.
That's also another reason why China makes it for so cheap. And second is the automation.
So here's the question for you: do you think Stellantis is now going to survive?
No. Well, actually, I think Stellantis is going to do better than Nissan right now. But I don't think Stellantis is going to do well in North America. They're actually going to start limiting their production of their European cars being brought to North America.
They're very close to bankruptcy.
They are.
But they were going that route, and I think they're still going that route. Their cost of their vehicle has risen way too much.
The thing that pisses me off is that Stellantis bought such legendary car companies, Maserati and Alfa Romeo and Fiat. I love these car companies. I think they are some of the best cars that were originally ever made, and now they're just shells of their former selves because Stellantis wanted to make everything for a quick buck. And that's what it feels like. Every single time you look at these cars, like initially they feel amazing, and then after a while,
Yeah,
they go down.
yes.
Yeah, sorry, continue.
I was just gonna say, I think Stellantis. I did look into their strategy. They really wanted to become like the Range Rover, Land Rover brand type of deal. So they tried to make these upper brands like Jeep. There's no reason Jeep Wagoneer should have been a thing. You're not $100,000 for nearly a car or $90,000 for a vehicle where your average person in the U.S. who used to actually love those brands, or Canada used to love those brands, used to pay like 40, 50K.
Yeah.
You cannot jump it to being like, oh, we're going to only target it to high-end market because that's what people like. Your brand was not made for that. Second, you don't have the reliability or the brand power.
They're the
for
worst
that.
reliability.
Exactly. No, so I think about the old Wagoneer. So I remember watching these old movies. Like, I don't know if you watch these old movies when you're growing up, and it's like they're in the Jeep Wagoneer. They're just driving across the
I
states.
think Jeep had a very, very nice reputation.
They
Because
did.
I think I spoke to you about it because they had the military look to it. You know what I'm saying?
They were the military.
Yeah. So they had the military
the
look to it.
military, yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
that's
now, like Jeeps, I don't even for off roading. There's so many better cars.
Tons.
And
Even-
they're-
I will argue our Mitsubishi could probably do way better off roading.
And
I don't know
BYD
about
just
that.
jumps now.
I think so.
BYD can just jump now.
BYD can jump. No, you know what? I'll take a G class.
I would never take a.
G class is bounce.
In all honesty, I would never take obviously a BYD. Electricals, they're built on one power system, so your engine's gonna get you're gonna get stuck in the middle.
Are you talking about for Jeep or for what?
No, for
just
BYD.
Any electrical in general.
Yeah. I wouldn't take.
But
it for
I'm just
off-road.
saying
I'm
Jeeps-
just telling them.
I'm someone who wants a hydrogen.
Why would you want one Jeep? Okay, it costs $60K for a goddamn Jeep, just a normal one. What do you
The
call it?
Wrangler?
The Wranglers. I'm like, that's crazy to me. Why is a Wrangler so expensive? They got nothing inside. They're metal box.
Wranglers are
And they get-
insanely
And they're
expensive.
Also-
always on the
But,
top
I have
list
another
for
question.
breakdown.
Can you not steal like stuff from a Wrangler very easily? Like you don't even need to get into the car. Like you can just like, squat down, and steal shit, or like even you can just pop the hood by just unclipping.
You could actually pop the hood back.
Am I correct? I always thought so.
believe so.
I'm like, can I just steal this guy's engine? I know obviously the
Well, you
engine weighs a
can't,
lot.
yeah.
I know that. But I'm just saying, can you not just steal parts of it easy?
I think you should be able to.
Even
I
gas
think-
cap. You want to siphon gas? Quick and easy,
Buddy,
buddy.
RVR
That's a tip for you in the States. Gas prices too high, steal people's gas.
RVR is super targeted for catalytic converters. It's so weird.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so weird. Where
Mhm.
I'm like, why is a Mitsubishi RVR?
Cadillac converters are worth a lot of money too.
Oh, tons.
It's the metal.
the
inside
rare
it.
minerals in there. So there are very small amounts of rare earth minerals in there.
I think it's platinum.
There's platinum, and then there's something more valuable than platinum. The problem is that when you go to replace it, you'll find out how much it actually costs. It can cost upwards of $10,000 for a new one.
God damn.
No, or $800 usually.
Is it $800?
Depends on the vehicle.
Well, I guess it depends on your warranty.
10,000 sounds like a supercar. I just straight pipe it. If
In
it's a
other
super,
news, okay?
How much is
Our-
a catalytic converter?
Our boy, there's this one guy here in Calgary, all right? Future Rav, as I like to say it. He has a Bugatti, all right? The guy right now, I'm very proud of you, man. He got a Koenigsegg.
I think Koenigseggs are
Did you see the Koenigsegg he got? Okay, let me show it to you.
They're beautiful. They're gorgeous.
Let's get your live
I
reaction.
love that
okay?
car.
Ish was dissing out, by the way. He's like, yo, buddy, this guy, one maintenance issue. It's
I
over.
was watching on it. They're like Koenigseggs are loved, but it's weird because once they break down, like you really could have no.
Yes, and I can
and
understand.
there's no
500.
replacement parts. Huh?
Here,
3,500 for catalytic converter.
Which car?
here.
Look.
Look, this is the Koenigsegg you got.
Yeah, it's one of the newer ones. 1,500 horses. You know that?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's this one. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, those are gorgeous.
Yeah, but you know the guys are fantastic. He owns this company called Exclusive Energy. I've looked a lot into you, man. I even sent you an email. You sadly didn't reply to me. Wanted to become a mentor, but you know it's okay. One day we'll meet. One day you'll love me. But yeah, crazy man. He has a couple of nice cars, but yeah, he got a Koenigsegg, which is insane. Imagine just driving around Calgary now you see a Koenigsegg. That's amazing.
Yeah. One. Like I love how shielded they are. You could hit that shit with a lot. Like you would
Yeah.
fucking take that door, bump
the
it hard.
cul-de-sac?
Yeah, no,
I
dude.
wouldn't believe that.
They're like
Yeah,
armored,
dude.
man.
They're strong.
Are you sure?
They're like
surprisingly
they're
strong.
weirdly armored. Underneath is like fucking like they take it to test it. They take it off jumps like real hard
They-
You know,
bumps.
my favorite car, I just like a car I really like. I like bigger cars. I just like it just because you can put as many people as you want inside. You can storage and
That's why he
everything.
always steals my Metsu.
Exactly. All right. So now the problem, I think my favorite car, like honestly, is either so two. If we're going with a big car, I like Suburbans. I just like Suburbans. They're nice. They drive nice. They're big. Everyone thinks you're a drug dealer if you have a tinted out Suburban.
No, I actually think what Amin was talking about, the G class, the what's that car?
The G. The one that I like, the one that.
For
No,
Merc?
you know what it is. You know Mercedes upper end brand for the
Are you talking about Maybach?
Oh, Maybach?
Maybach.
Yeah.
Those
Maybach,
SUVs.
But
Those
have
are
you know the new Cadillac? What's the new Cadillac that they have? The sedan version.
Oh, the one they were making, the electrical one, looks really cool.
No. The one that we've sat in.
350T.
Yeah, that's got a massage seats. I don't know why massage seats. They're wacky massages, by the way. They're not great massages. But that car is nice to sit in. That car is very nice.
Yeah, well, Caddy's made for that, but again, the reason is something's gonna break down again sooner or later.
You go off the block. But that's the same here. With Mercs and shit too. I don't like Mercs are great, but I don't know. Mercs I just don't feel with. Beamers I like a little bit more than Mercs.
Higher too. Higher end BMWs are very nice. If you get 7/8 series, holy shit, the luxury is phenomenal.
What about Maybach? Do you know if Maybachs are? What about Maybach
Maybach's top
versus
tier.
Rolls Royce? Which one's better?
They're very similar in terms of
Which
what
one's
they're-
better, buddy?
I
say
prefer
Rolls.
Rolls Royce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beamer's
Rolls-Royce
beating you guys, buddy.
Rolls Royce is the brand.
Okay, if I want a big off roader, because you were talking about it, I want the Enos Grenadier.
What the hell's that?
This monster.
Yeah.
It's actually capable. That's one of the things.
Are these Mercs?
So essentially, they're made in Mercedes' old Smart 2 factory.
Yeah,
But they have a 8-cylinder BMW engine.
I would just use the 4Runner in that case. The 4Runner is pretty good for off-roading.
Yeah, but at the same,
Did you hear that guy? We had a buddy who had a account. He had a bunch of cars. The guy had like 56 cars. It was a lot.
Yeah.
But the guy, he had a Merc.
I want this.
How much
the
do you say?
Marauder.
the Marauder.
Yeah, that's that crazy.
It's an
big one.
18-seater, buddy.
We
It'll be
need-
perfect for
We
family
need
trips.
half.
Family
We need
trips
half.
together.
Oh, it comes with AK-47.
And it's armored. They put a bomb under it. They blew it up.
But
nothing
trust me,
happened.
no bears
I
are gonna
love
mess
that
with you
thing.
on your trip. Okay?
Okay, no, but I have to
You
have
can go
this.
through walls. Perfect.
Hey, buddy, easy, quick, easy.
Yeah.
But what about the 4Runner?
The gas in this would be brutal.
It would be brutal. What about the 4Runner?
4Runner, is that good for off-roading?
It is.
Honestly, it is, but at the
But
same time, I don't like
but that's the thing. The problem with 4Runner is just the look of it. Outside of going, the good thing with 4Runner is maintenance price is probably chill, just because there's nothing in there. It's the most. It's a very old system.
It's a lot better than a Jeep, I think.
Anything's better than a Jeep.
That's true.
When people
Just
come and they're like, "I want
just
to try out a Jeep," I ask them why. I'm like, why? Why do you want to have a Jeep, man? Other than like go to India in India military movies, everyone just randomly in
Well,
the Jeeps.
on the road, because they're so bumpy in India, that Jeeps are actually very good on wide.
Yeah, I'm guessing because
but
off
slow
road anywhere.
speeds, but slow speeds.
I would
Because
say
they don't get like a death wobble. Jeeps are also one of the most. Every year they come on the Consumer Reports being one of the top 10 unreliable cars. Okay, always they like fucking live on that
But
list.
Stellantis owns Jeep, right?
Yeah.
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 So,
Also, number one. Okay, I don't know how you guys take it every year. Is the goddamn Chrysler van,
Oh God, I hate
Pacifica, I
that thing.
think. That thing's always on number one on the
Yo,
list. for
did you
maintenance
guys
issues.
see the Volkswagen van?
Yes.
Why? What?
It looks kind of cool.
No,
I
it
like
doesn't.
it.
It looks like
Electrical,
a
stupid.
Scooby Doo.
But
That's
that's cool.
the point.
That's cool. That's what it's so different.
No.
Yo, everyone's copying right now, so they try something different. I want to try to.
They tried the
You know what?
Cybertruck, and this guy just dissing the Cybertruck
It's
anywhere we go.
it looks like a trash bag.
Okay, so
I don't know,
they're
man.
trying-
Cybertruck in real life actually looks pretty cool. I thought
I think it looks
initially,
like a trash bag.
I thought it might be stupid looking, but when I see it in real life, I'm like, you know what? I actually kind
Don't
of.
wanna
I
get
threw
hit
my
by it.
garbage at it. I actually did. I was like,
Oh, police. Littering, dog. Littering.
no, I did.
He just admitted
Hey,
it.
I'm
it's
just saying,
straight-
hey.
it looks like a trash bin. It was actually parked in the back alley, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
that blinds you on the road.
like,
Like,
straight up.
Yeah, I'm just saying hate, man. That's all it is, kid. But for me, I actually think overall, at least Cybertruck is different, and it does look different on the road.
No, it's different. I agree.
Not a
But
great
the-
truck.
but-
Not a great truck.
But the
horrible-
Volkswagen van. I
A
don't.
Hummer made it look bad.
No, an Atlas. That's a nice whip. I like the Atlas. It has a nice name to it. It looks deadly.
Atlas is a very nice
Yeah,
vehicle.
yeah. I
It's,
wish it was a little larger.
drivability is really
I wish
good.
it was a little larger though, just because again, it has the fake 7-seater. It's a fake 7-seater.
But how it drives is really nice.
Yeah.
It's
Atlas is
phenomenal
fantastic.
to
Yeah.
drive.
You know, everything's about those cars. Are
I
really
actually
good.
have something very, very
Because
funny.
it's a very much a copy of a Q5 or a Q6.
So this is a hill climb with the Cybertruck and an old Hummer, the old school Hummer.
Trying to climb a steep hill and fail. Opposite it, a Hummer H2 not only gets up the hill in one try.
I will never choose the Hummer, buddy.
On the
I'm
frickin'
my
back.
cousins
This is
growing
a
up
GMC
were addicted
Jimmy.
with Hummers. Everyone loved Hummers back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah, I've seen those sometimes.
Everyone loved
You
Hummers.
can't, you
back in the
can't, you know, electric cars are going to be terrible off road. Why? I don't know why people try with this. I'm like, yo, you guys are the heaviest vehicles ever.
You know what I hate about the Cybertruck is actually the fact that the underside is all plastic, and you can't. They put a tow hook on it, and it actually kind of wrecks the Cybertruck because it kind of just pulls.
Take the grain with salt. This
No.
guy is fully hater of Cybertrucks. Okay?
I'm not a full
He's a
hater.
very intelligent.
So
car
I
guy,
watched
but he hates Cybertrucks.
Diesel and Whistle, Whistling in the Diesel. I can't remember what they're called. They're these YouTubers who do all these Top Gear-esque things. Yeah. And they got a Cybertruck. And they were like, you know what, we'll test it and compare it to the Ford. And it came close, but the problem
Can
was
you
it kept
figure out how
breaking.
much that 18-seater? How much does it cost? I want to
$500,000.
Yeah,
Marauders-
way more than half a
No,
million.
it's actually $500,000.
It's not. It is not. But it's
It
full
was-
armor.
it is-
like
it
full.
is
Yeah, buddy.
Huge tank.
I'm
That
co-
shit. If you're ever gonna have apocalypse, you're like, war's going down. I order a Marauder.
It comes with an AK-47. Actually, 7 AK-47s.
Yeah, it has the holders. It's like literal, like, you know, she got
Yeah,
shelf
check
space.
how much it is. I don't know. How much it is.
$500,000.
I'm a rich guy nowadays, you know, so I gotta, defend myself.
The Marauder is... So I remember the Top Gear guys told us it was
The
$500,000.
top tier guys. Who?
Top Gear.
Oh, are these YouTubers?
No. We need to make him watch Top Gear.
Oh, the movie. Yeah.
Not the movie.
All right, I
It's
think it was
not
a show. I
movie.
think they just mentioned it a bunch of times.
Yes, it's
Don't
our
hate on
favorite
me,
show.
man. I'm a 2000s kid, okay? Millennium by heart.
You should have watched it.
Hey, man, I was in diapers when it's out, okay?
It just ended like a year ago.
Yeah, but it was an old show, okay? Old show. How much is a Marauder, buddy? How much can I buy it for?
Wait, you can go 4x4 or 6x6. Okay, you can buy it in
6x6.
Yeah, so
How
two
much-
tires in the back with one.
Who? Okay, 6x6, bro.
That's pretty
Do you
crazy.
remember him parking it and they came to tow it and then he just drove off with the tow truck?
It's really torqued though.
I
It's a
fucking
torqued,
I
yeah.
love that. I'm gonna show him what happened with the Marauder.
Yeah, it's about I would say 500,000.
USD, though, right?
Yeah, but you get it used for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, the 18-seater, buddy. The 18-seater.
That shit on off road, dude. If you ever watch that show,
I love this show. It's one of my favorite episodes actually.
He's in my
dude, he
car?
goes through the fucking walls.
Okay, so I guess this is our podcast.
This is
episode.
phenomenal.
Is that we watch Top Gear
about bumping into things because it's big and not worried about
All
bumping
armored.
into things because,
completely.
well, frankly, who cares?
I was looking at it like, what the hell? Yo, H, we gotta get one of these for the fleet, buddy.
I need this for the fleet. I will drive this.
If Apocalypse, if we're ever having Civil War, that's the one I'm getting.
I think, honest to God, I don't trust either of you with this. I'll be the one driving it.
No, definitely not.
Not you.
Better than you with the big vehicle.
300,000 pounds, 600,000 Canadian.
That is Rolls-Royce Phantom money for a machine that's not exactly the last word in luxury.
It's like, what, $500 to fill the gas?
Back seats,
More.
for instance. There are 8 of them. which
God
is good.
damn. It actually has like a lot of
You're
couplers.
renting this
That's
out
crazy.
as a wedding car any day soon. And as for the dashboard,
Got 8 boys in
clearly
it.
decided not to go for the walnut and leather option on here, partly because they need to leave room for all the switches, partly because the wood might clash with the wood on the machine guns. Yeah.
Yep,
Oh, you got the AK right there, buddy.
exactly.
Right
Told
for
you.
the drive-by.
In other areas.
See, drug dealers, you guys getting Suburbans, but this is a car to get. Cops ain't gonna catch you, buddy.
Oh,
Go to the
You gotta know where
off-road
you
part.
are.
Go to the part where he's
he's
just like
about to
actually
go
testing.
off-road.
Not the city.
He's in the city, but
You really can't hide with this car, though, buddy.
Just hold it.
Imagine
Just
someone
hold it.
driving this downtown. No, it doesn't work on this one, buddy.
Oh. Watch
What's-
the off-roading.
Oh, I love this part.
Oh yeah, he does.
I want to see him get towed.
Oh, okay, this is
No,
actually.
no, 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 go back,
Wait.
go back. No, that's
No,
that's-
this is a pretty good part here.
You know how scared I'd be driving next to this guy? He go through a house?
Da, 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 da. Sorry, guys.
not a scratch, buddy.
car.
Can you see the size of that car? That's crazy.
Yeah, not a scratch match. It's wonderful.
I like all those people in England. They dress nice.
That's South Africa.
No, wait, they're in South Africa?
Yeah, this is South Africa. That's where it's made.
Yeah, no, I thought they were in England.
We need this in South Africa, buddy.
I would love this in South Africa.
Yeah, my cousin's been. He says, yeah, main city. No.
Imagine, for example,
Cape Town's beautiful.
Oh, I
he
love
said.
this.
to get a coffee, and this happens.
This is the best part here. This is my favorite part.
Yeah, why would you even try them?
Not nice, no. Now, normally the towaway people leave you powerless and penniless, but not this time. The
We hate the
Marauder
Indigo people,
has
so
got
this would be
290
perfect.
brake horsepower and a top speed of just 70 miles an hour, which admittedly isn't brilliant. However, the torque figure is astonishing. 1,100 newton meters on it, which is a lot. And that makes it pretty good in a towaway tug of war.
Yeah, that's you never get towed in that.
Yeah, buddy, how much times are you getting towed-ish?
Ish.
You
No,
park this at
with
the
that
airport.
car,
Park this at the
with that
airport.
car, you're getting towed right away.
Park this at the airport.
I don't care where you're parked.
Alright.
Okay, guys. So,
You park this at the airport, okay? This is...
I
Search
kid
it
you-
up, guys.
How are we gonna even fit in our garage at the airport?
No,
can't.
you don't
Where
have.
do you park this car?
No, you get like a farm field and you fucking have it off road.
Yeah,
So
buddy.
one of the things
Ready
is
to
like,
fight Bigfoot or something?
one of the
Just
things
go,
is
just go at Forest, buddy.
we hate the Indigo people here. We all do, no matter where we are.
No, we
especially-
don't. Alright, don't watch this video. If you're Indigo, stop watching here.
Yeah,
you, Indigo.
we're not talking Indigo, but I'm just saying, parking like in Calgary is just absolutely like a scammer.
It is. Which is why I hate Indigo.
Do you know in the UK that's way worse? In the UK, if
It's
you
worse.
if you want
It
to
is
if you
worse.
want to drop somebody off at the airport, they charge you £10
£10
to drop somebody. So
Oh,
to come in-
Heathrow?
yes, to drop somebody off at the airport, it's £10.
Drop me off next to the
not
airport.
park. Not park. You can't park near the airport. There's no way to get into the airport. It's all just pure roading. To get drop off your mom to the airport, buddy, £10.
Okay,
So $16 Canadian.
I'm thinking back right now. I'm like thinking back now because like I don't remember paying anything when they were
Yeah,
dropping
England
us off.
became a lot worse.
But you know that one thing, USA recently, New York, they brought their concession charges for their downtown too lower. I hate stuff like this. It's just every single. It's like at what moment do you stop the taxation? Just so people understand something about taxation, you get taxed when you get your paycheck. All right,
We
so
do.
you have to pay. Then you have to pay again when you have to buy something.
yeah,
It's so
who you got paid by also is taxed on your
Yes.
on the what to pay you.
So you get taxed when the money gets to you. You get taxed when you give out the money, plus the person who receives the money also gets taxed. There's like a million fucking taxes.
Yeah,
at the
you
end
buy
of the-
groceries taxed.
Yeah, but
You
it,
buy
it does not.
anything.
It does not make
You
sense
look
to
at
me.
list of taxes on
The
gas.
system doesn't make sense. You can't raise prices definitely, right? It's just
Yeah.
at one point it's like when I used to think
the
it was
carbon
such a-
tax right
it's-
now.
It's
Oh,
when you
carbon
die.
tax.
If you
Yeah.
die, it costs. It's somebody's gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Inheritance tax. If you're getting a house from your parents that they paid for all their life, they'll take what's the percentage?
It's a
30%?
high amount. It's a high amount.
It's a 30% almost. I
Right
think.
now, for capital gains tax in Canada, it's 66%. There's nowhere in the world is 66%. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary.
I wanna
Why
get
on
a-
earth would you even? I know we have businesses here. You know, you make the best of your situation. We're just very good entrepreneurs. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos team up right here. Okay, but like the whole situation is. You can't tax people until they're dead. Like it is not a system that makes sense. A true system where somebody cares if somebody wants somebody to survive out is you tax them once. That's it.
You know what?
You not tax somebody 20 different times on the same paycheck that they get.
I'll be honest. If we weren't doing our company, I would have probably left for Portugal now because Portugal dropped so many taxes. They're like, yeah, we're not going to do income tax anymore. We're not going to do this tax anymore. They want young people to stay there, and they want to attract new professionals.
Yeah. Also, a tip, Calgary, man. I know like you guys are trying your best here, but probably not. They're not trying their best.
No, they're not.
But they raised property tax by 15%.
Yeah, I saw that. I was
So
like,
That's crazy.
in a place
How?
in a system where it's already hard as hell to buy new houses, to get a house, and now you just raise it by so it's 15% more expensive. It makes no sense. It's the system makes no sense. I understand house prices get up in value, right? But it's that same conversation. Should you pay money on capital gains tax? Money you haven't even taken out yet? No, you should not. because you don't have money to pay the capital gains tax. But it feels the exact same way when you're just getting taxed like every year. Just think about it. You're not getting a 15% raise out of your job.
I think this is actually the main reason I became the most anti-government.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's only two taxes I can validate that I'm like it should go for. One, local for your roads,
Yes.
your amenities, your water, your cleaning, and then any big one like let's say federal, healthcare. You can do. I'm 100% after healthcare. I'm like, yeah, no matter how much it costs, but one, at least try to make it efficient.
Yes, of course.
Right? That is the two things. But here's the thing: you have a car,
Mm-hmm.
your license, paid, registering your car. You have to have a vehicle. You're paying that.
Yes.
Right? You're paying that
Every year. Every year,
your
not once, every year.
Our
It's
gas
on our
is,
last name.
our gas half of its tax.
Yes.
Carbon tax still makes no sense, even if it's just only on corporate either, because the corporate cost increases, then they're going to charge you more so for the product.
Yes, makes no sense.
So it still makes no sense.
Yes.
It's just a scam all around because you know the government is not
Yes,
using
one
it.
thing people need to understand.
People don't hate on the government. I never used to until I was like, yo, like this is just abuse.
Yeah, one thing people have to understand. I really want Canadians to understand this, and Americans. I really want you guys to understand this. When people say we're gonna tax businesses more, that is a bad thing. When you're taxing businesses more, businesses are not lowering the amount of money they're making. They're just gonna go ahead and tax you the difference.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
The tax just comes to you at the end.
And you know, coming out with new taxes. It's just like at this point in time, they're like, yo, what kind of tax are you gonna table tax? If you have a table in your house, you're getting taxed. You know, back in the day,
Window tax.
Window tax. I was
Window
gonna bring
ta- I
a
knew
window
you were
tax.
gonna bring a window tax, 'cause we always think about that.
In the UK, there's some places where they have bricked out windows where it's supposed to be windows. It's very weird to look at, right?
Yeah.
The reason why back in the day, like, how do we tax our citizens? By the amount of windows they have at their house.
Because
kidding.
richer people
I'm
had more
not joking.
windows.
So, like, if you have more windows, we're taxing you.
Exactly.
And
No.
but no system, if you ever seen, works with a taxation because you can have what at one point you're paying 99% of your paycheck's gonna be just tax. Makes no sense.
It's getting there. See, that's what it is. Like that's one thing I do think. When you're becoming totalitarian, government just becomes more
The
beautiful.
only one economy, I'll give one. There's only one. There's two economies right now in the world that I'm very pro-American. I'm very, very pro-American. I don't think that the Chinese are our best friends, right? But two things. There's two places on the earth right now where, because even Germany, prices on Germany have risen up by 30%. Germany has a, and like you mentioned, Germany's very congested, right? It's a very congested place. Canada isn't though. So why are we having the same problems? The two places in the world where the average at the fastest rates is Singapore, and Singapore is very congested, and also China. Because China is increasing rapidly, like super rapidly. And the amount of money that people are making is growing, right? Now, again, we're not saying that you have the most freedoms there. They're definitely freedom portion on life, but their economy is something we need to learn from.
Yeah.
Right? You like
the groceries.
Yeah, you're working. You're working. Your parents are hardworking people, right? And then so they're like, okay, right now you're gonna pay your federal tax, right? So you get paid, blah blah blah. You're gonna pay whenever you get your money. You're gonna pay your tax.
Yeah.
Now, when you have to buy groceries, sorry, buddy, another 5% of all your money gone.
Yep. No, it's not even that, man. It's also like, why are my groceries costing so much exponentially more?
At the airport, one thing, Calgary Airport, something I will never understand, something I'm very against. Half the price of a ticket in Calgary Airport is taxes.
It is.
Half the price.
I kid you. So
a plane ticket from Calgary to London.
Would you I have one thing I do actually think, like, you know, like I don't think taxes on businesses just keep increasing because that doesn't make sense. Because here's the thing,
You just go to the consumer.
because then they're not really profitable, because only your top end will stay profitable.
Of course.
Because all the market then goes to them, because they can still be competitive.
Of course.
A normal person who's like middle end, let's say if Amin had a middle end store, he won't be able to compete with the top, because if his taxes get high, his profitability is barely survivable.
A company that has more money can easily eat up the
cost. Yeah, it's like if we're facing enterprises or car rental, enterprise can eat the cost until you're out of market.
They can literally give free car rentals so that
Until
nobody
I'm
joins us,
so
and we go out of business. They can do it.
They were doing. I remember when we were having low rentals, because they were having like $20.
Yeah, sometimes their
Yeah.
car is $20 a day.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, smaller guy to increase his market cannot be taxed heavily. That's why if you see, like, just example, U.S., why do the two biggest markets with the lowest taxes have the most business growth? Because if you don't have economic growth, you can't have all the social programs. If you're economically going downwards, you're not growing, you're actually not able to support social programs. like if people don't understand, like people think, oh yeah, okay, they're just gonna be able to, take out more money, that's just inflation. That's just a tax at the end of the day. You just don't
The
understand
only
what's
people who
happening.
benefit from that are people who have assets. If you have a house,
Or government
you,
people
you
or-
love inflation. The property value of your house keeps going up.
Or dirty politicians were taking money on the back end.
Yeah, but like the true thing is, we look at the UK, right? Because Canada is a very good representation of the UK. I've been to the UK so many times now, right? Canada is just a very early stage of the UK.
Yeah.
The UK is nothing but tax. Congestion taxes downtown. In the UK, if your car is under, I don't remember exact year, so I'm not going to pretend like I know, right? But if your car is under this year, you get
Yes.
every single day you pay a penalty.
Yeah, you do.
Every day.
Every single day?
Yeah, no.
I believe it's a 10 to 15 pound penalty.
And I hate
Jesus
it
So
because I want to
and
know.
you can't sell that car because no one's buying it. They have to pay an extra £10 a
I
day.
wanted an old car in England. I talked to my aunts and uncles about it because I was like, you know what, I want to get a car for when I move here.
Uh-huh.
And I was like looking at my Jaguar because I like my Jaguar. I don't care what you say. I like that Jaguar.
Ish has the most dead face.
And he hates my Jaguar.
I don't hate it. I just think every time he says it, it's so stupid.
See,
when I hear it.
but
Anyways,
yeah.
it's an old Jag, and it would have cost me more than the car's worth every year.
So you hear this, right? And so to you it sounds crazy. Man, I think we're only a decade away from that happening here, where they're like,
actually
oh,
think so.
if you have under 2,000,
I think
you're
we're
paying
gonna be powerless as citizens soon enough.
The problem is that
that's the reason I was like, I was never that pro like U.S. until I was like, I think we're becoming powerless.
the problem with that is there's a guy with a 96 Camry, and that man will vouch that car. I will vouch that car because that car
Will last forever.
forever, ever. I will die before that car dies. He'll die before that car dies. You'll die before that car dies.
with
He
the
will
way
have
he is aiming down with the injuries he's just sustaining, yeah, it's not too long for this guy.
whatever. Either way, I don't think that they should do this taxation on cars that are
Already
made to
exist.
actually
Or that
last.
already exists.
That too.
Who are the people who are only getting affected by this?
The
It's
poor.
only
Broke.
poor people.
Yeah.
Because if you can't buy imagine this, you need a car. You have no car. You have family. You have to have a car. And now the same car you're getting is just fucking you.
And European cars are not cheap.
Also,
They are in no way cheap.
they
New
are
cars,
not. I
new
love
cars
them.
in general, and European cars for maintenance, terrible. I don't care if you're buying a hybrid or whatever.
I
BMW,
got-
whatever
I
it
have-
may be, terrible.
I have one answer. Toyota wants to release this basic truck for North America.
I saw that 10
Yeah,
grand,
and
15
10 grand, 10 grand. I love this truck. I look at it, I'm like, this is the most utilitarian truck I've ever seen. It's got nothing in it but seats and space for
It'd
stuff.
be like a business truck for sure. Like, you could have
Exactly.
money.
And essentially, I feel like that we should be allowed to buy those vehicles,
Yeah.
and there shouldn't be any kind of extra tariffs on them, because the reason why tariffs exist on these vehicles in this country is because we followed the United States. And this is my one issue, is that we follow them, and then we end up paying more because we have to have this truck with this style, because the United States had that same kind of issue, instead of having basic cars that will do well. You remember the Mitsubishi Mirage? I hate that car.
But that has
But
to
it
do
was the
that
cheapest
has
car
to-
ever.
That actually has to do with the more like the corporate decisions to provide whatever it wants to.
But
in
the
market.
problem is that the government made it so that we can't provide these cars in this country.
Yeah, so that's again lobbying too. So that's like, hey, how much is your government corruptible? Government is the most like people who are for government. I'll tell you this right now:
They're-
if you look at how easily they're sold out,
With that being
or
said,
they pretend to be
there-
helpful, there's only few things I think they should regulate.
There was actually a guy on
After your
TikTok.
CEO, like one rule I'm for: if your CEO, like after a certain amount of money, your let's say your company is making more profit, and if your company isn't making more profit, your CEO should never be able to get a raise instead of firing people. That should not be allowed. I don't think that's a thing. What do you think? Because here's my big thing: if you're a big corp and you really want to regulate, like hey, you can give tax breaks. I'm all for tax breaks, but I'm not for you as a CEO if you're losing money as a company. Being like,
cut out people for yourself.
yeah, before and give yourself a raise. You should be like, hey, I have to
okay,
give
so-
myself a cut and
The whole position in this, I'll give you my opinion on it, right? In Canada, it's a very little portion. You're talking about massively about the States. The States have massive layoffs. How long? So much. Amazon has layoffs every single year. Apple has layoffs every single year.
Microsoft.
Yeah.
I don't know. Microsoft never needs layoffs.
Yeah. But all of these companies Google. All these companies have massive layoffs. They also make massive amounts of money, and they make money. It's not revenue. It's not gross
Yeah,
revenue.
because they don't
it's
have
profit.
to pay these guys.
Yeah. But so yes, I do agree with you, right? That, like implementing some way that you can limit. like here,
Like
I'll tell you
Boeing, EA. So EA is very Canadian.
We don't talk about Boeing. We
In,
don't talk about
in
Boeing.
2008. Yeah. Yeah, don't bring you.
My best friend.
Best friend.
Yeah. We
They
ain't
fly.
talking about
They fly. They fly. But okay.
Better
So here's something about Obama. Okay, so President Obama. So in 2008, big destruction
remember
happened
that.
because of the banks, how over leveraged they were, right? In that same year, there's a bunch of stories to this, but in the same year, after getting funding from the government to bail themselves out, the same companies that were going bankrupt gave the CEOs big bonuses. And the USA, I'm not too sure if you remember this, in 2008, obviously we were young, they got triggered. They got triggered because they found out. They blamed Obama. Obama tried to reverse. But a lot of the, like JP Morgan, for example, they said, we didn't cause this crisis. We didn't actually, they still had government funding, but they're like, we didn't cause the crisis. We were good. So why can I not give myself this, right? Mm-hmm. So, like this happens, right? Obviously, people get greedy. People from the top, especially, they want to get paid, regardless if they did a good thing or bad thing, right? Big businesses can't do that. Like Starbucks, for example, what? They're doing horrible. They hire a new CEO for $100 million, right? It happens, right? Yeah. But they lay off a lot of their company. Right now, a lot of Starbucks are closing down.
Yeah,
a lot of Starbucks are closing down, right?
Are shut
yeah,
out.
Again, capital markets work the best by regulating themselves, right? To a certain degree, from what I see. When we talk about but the thing that people get wrong are, so regardless of however the big corporations make money, what can we do for the little guy? The little guy is not getting help by taxing the government. Nobody thinks increasing their taxes by 5% is going to fix my roads or fix the amount of homeless people I see on the streets. You can't. You know, East Village is such a nice place, but they had 340 911 calls, 911 incidents in this year, and over 60% of them were
homeless related.
Were assault related.
Of course they were.
In East Village. Why? Because there's a massive homeless population there, right? Would you give 5% more of your paycheck if you knew that they were going to be gone?
I would.
Yes.
Because it would help them.
I want to help people. I don't want them gone like they're dead. I want to help them where they're living, they're contributing members of society. But me paying extra tax because the business has to pay extra tax makes no sense because I don't even trust where money's going right now. Just giving more money is not helping me.
One of the problems I have is it's also people that are in charge.
No.
I think beforehand, because we weren't paying more taxes, like, he's going to fight me on this, the NDP came in, they made safe injection sites so that people can get help. Mm-hmm. The homeless population dwindled, and these people were getting the help they needed. And then the NDP gets taken out, the Conservatives come in, and then they're like, yeah, we want to get rid of this, and we want to get rid of that, and then we want to give this dude a lot of money for no good reason. And our homeless population grew, and it grew and grew. And then we had people...
What time to what time is this?
This was about 2000... From 2014 to 2018 was when the NDP was in charge, right? And then after that was the Conservatives.
It was during
Menchie. It wasn't 2000.
Menchie isn't the one we're talking about.
No, but it wasn't NDP. It wasn't. If you're talking about our locals, so anytime you have a pure allowance of just actual drugs on the street, it's terrible.
No, I don't think it's not an allowance. I think the fact of the matter was I want safe injection sites because then people actually lose the stigma of it and they're willing to get the help they need. That's what it is.
I from my personal views on this, obviously I'm not an expert in drugs or anything related, okay? But keeping people on the streets when they clearly need help is not a good place. I don't like, but safe injection sites, okay, but why do they release them? I don't release them. Don't release these people. Get them into help they need.
Yeah. If
you put my money into putting them into hospitals.
But you can't help people by force. You have to make them come to you. You can't
then they don't want help.
But then the ones that want help will come. The simple fact of the matter is they were down. The people actually did come for help. Mm-hmm. That's the nice thing about it.
And I agree with you on that point that you need a safe place that they go, right?
Yeah.
But letting them back out to the... Okay, let's just say 10, 20... Again, we don't know the stats of this, but 20% of those people did help, right? That's great. 20% less homeless people is amazing. But I don't want 80% more on the streets. Like, clearly there is problems that come with that stuff.
Again, Alberta is a small site. What about then BC? Why has it increased there? Why has it increased in Ontario still?
Because one of the things in BC is that it's just insane. I don't know much about BC.
But okay, so regardless whether it's a good idea or not, that program is not here. But my taxes did not get lowered with that.
What about Manitoba's program? Because Wab Canoe What's the new premier of Manitoba?
I'm not. I'm not.
He's
too
a
sure
really
his
nice
name.
guy.
Yes, yes.
For the most part. For the most part, no one's 100% nice. So Wab Canoe has a 20-year plan to end homelessness. He's actually going to send social workers into homeless camps and talk to them. Be like, hey, how can I get you off the street? How can I help you?
The only thing is, I know everything gets disputed by. It's gonna be personal accounts, right?
Yeah.
Like you've obviously had bad accounts with C train stations. I had crackheads lived in my house in one of my rental
I
apartments.
remember that.
Yeah, it was not a very fun time, right?
No, it wasn't a good time for me
So another thing is, I did allow it. I didn't take them out right away. I should have kicked them out right away, right?
Yeah.
But again, that just adds on to the homeless population. But these people didn't want help, man. Not those people. Now,
A lot of people don't want
Some
help.
people do want help, right? I think I can't, because again, I'm never taking drugs. But I assume when somebody's on drugs, they're not in the most sane place of mind, right?
No, they're not.
So I know what you're saying. You can't do it by force, but I don't think people who are living their best life, who are trying to be the best law-abiding citizens, should have to deal with people. I think we need to do something and actually correct it. I don't think what's going on today has not helped any situation. Homelessness is the worst I've ever seen it.
Me too.
I'm going home on a highway. There's a tent on the side of the fucking road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guard. There's a.
And most of the rules that were the new programs were implemented were obviously sided also with NDP, including the Liberals.
No,
Like
no,
for on
the
federal level.
new ones that just came out aren't.
for just us, but that's too little. Stigma should be heavy, because if I go to India, dude, you have a huge homeless population, yet nobody crazy, nobody stabbing nobody. Any countries that has heavy stigmas, those not homeless people are nice. People willing to talk to you, give you some money. None of that shit.
We're not talking about people bad on their luck, by the way. We're talking
I'm talking
drug users.
I'm talking like people who are actually like down on their luck. I'm just saying, hey, these people, like nobody's scared of the guy on the road, because once you're on drugs, it's very different. No, you don't look when you see somebody on the road who is on drugs.
I wonder what Dubai system
There's a barrier where you're like, I don't want to get too close.
Dubai doesn't let anyone in unless they actually have something to do in Dubai.
Yeah, because
So Dubai will send you back. They don't
Yeah.
allow full citizenship. So
Yeah.
once you're
I know
useless, they're actually like once you're like retired,
But,
they're
well, I wonder. But for let's just say there's citizens who get addicted to drugs. I want to know what their policy is, because they have the one of the safest places in the entire
They'll
world,
put you in
right?
fucking jail.
Yeah, Probably. But so that's by force.
They're
let's just
heavy
say.
against drug.
But they don't have that problem there.
But
They don't have
the
that
The funny
problem.
thing is, though,
the
they have a
stigma's huge.
safe place.
It's the
to
same
park.
thing.
Yeah,
Stigma's
but
huge.
they have no problem there.
The
for that.
stigma's huge
Yeah, yeah.
because your family will be like, yo, don't do it. Like Mexico, I think there was a general talk. Why does Mexico, all the drugs come out of there? Why doesn't a lot of their population do it? Their family will be like, yo, no, this is terrible for you. They have super ad campaigns like, they'll fuck you.
They
up
know
and
the
shit.
drug. They know the drug game there.
Yeah, here it's like, oh yeah, you want to get this one? We can get it from local places. It's like, the problem is people who want help, they need mental help, and a lot of people actually are in the system. Like if you actually watch certain people, the people who want help can't get separated from the people who don't want help, and the people who don't want help
They're all the same.
really
place,
don't
what you're
care.
saying. Mhm.
That's the big issue.
But clearly, what we're doing right now is not helping anybody.
No,
They're
of
just getting
course.
worse and worse. It's just getting worse and worse.
Yeah,
more
which
people
is-
are getting onto drugs.
I'm more for the safe injection sites. I think that's probably the best way to do it right now.
Yeah, but again, the whole question is, what do you do with these people who are already on the road, right? What if okay? So here's my question to you: If there is somebody who's not going to want help, he's still causing trouble, then what do you do?
Essentially, he needs to be sent to jail to be in like if he's causing trouble, like he's in the middle of the streets fighting and starting shit with like cars. It's like, yeah, no, take him to jail, put him in a drunk tank for like a couple hours or something, like as long as you can hold him, and then release him. Maybe when he's sobered up, like he'll have a fucking horrible headache. Like these guys have horrible withdrawal symptoms. But he won't be as...
Is that your idea of taking a brunt action towards fighting?
It's not
fighting
taking a
drugs?
brunt action. It's taking someone dangerous off the street. The simple fact of the matter is we do need to have safe injection sites for people to know what they're taking is safe, and then also be able to ask for help. Because like those safe injection sites, they used to have pamphlets and stuff like, "Hey, check this out. Here's your drugs."
I definitely don't think it's not a good idea. I want to know how effective it is, right?
It's pretty effective.
So you have to see, but take a look. Let's see how effective it actually is. But then again,
How effective are safe
but
injection sites?
you know what Ahmed, what you're
According to pmc.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov, Best evidence from cohort and modeling studies suggests that SISs are associated with lower overdose mortality, 88 fewer overdose deaths per 100,000 persons.
That's just saving them from death. That's not actually cleaning up
Yeah,
the roads and
but it's
streets.
88 fewer overdose for 100,000 people.
And then also lowers the HIV.
Of course, right?
So
but
what are the
this
others?
doesn't seem like a action that's
It
going
just
to-
allows them to do it in a safer way, but it doesn't really save the population from all the overdose dose.
Yeah, but
You gotta have a heavy stigmatization.
you know,
and
but I don't want
criminalization.
anybody to die, right? I
Yeah,
don't
of
want anybody
course,
to die,
yeah.
right? So it's not a bad idea. However, I don't think it fixes the problem because here's the thing: if what you're saying is true, the people who want help will get help because they'll go there, they'll read the pamphlets.
Exactly.
People who don't want help won't. Those people are the problem ones.
Yeah,
Make,
the
make
pro-
it
the-
really hard to get drugs. Is the
Yeah, well, that's
how
first
can we
thing.
make it really hard to get drugs, man? Like it's so easy to make them.
I completely understand, man. But there's countries where like you can get they're actually criminal prosecution.
Well,
is really
no,
quick and
the
fast
other
for
thing
it.
is there's not like here's the truth. One of the true things I think is because again, let's not even look at how the problem's solved today. How do we prevent this problem, right? And the only way to prevent them is by stopping drugs. Now, obviously, easy to make, but what are the actual laws of persecution for somebody making drugs? Not if somebody was to die, which is the case in Dubai,
So
and even Singapore. It's the same case there. They have the death penalty, I believe.
yeah.
But
What if we do?
in China,
What if we
too,
do
the
it
hell
this
is in
way?
China, they put you in hard labor.
What if we do it this way? Like let's talk. What if we make drug use decriminalized, so it's like a fine and shit like that, but make the guys who make the drugs, like drug dealers and shit, like life in prison kind of situation.
I don't like life in prison. Here's a I know this there's a pivot. Like speaking about this again, this is a very good podcast. It's expressing ideas a very good list. What about you? Out of what has been said, what do you think? I think persecution too. Now I know death penalty. You know, obviously talking about morality.
Death penalty is
a-
expensive, man.
Yeah,
If we talk about economics,
but keeping somebody in prison is even more expensive.
Yeah.
honestly, no, it's not actually.
No, it's way-
so
killing-
the one-time cost of the drug needle thing that kills you in the death penalty in what was that state? Costs way too much.
Here, well,
Not in Canada. You
look,
can actually go.
you know,
and
to
commit,
keep one
suicide.
person in jail in Canada, do you know how much it costs?
How much?
How much do you think?
I'm gonna say probably around 60 grand.
Okay, how much do you think?
Probably around, I guess, there too.
One person every single day for one person, it costs $345. In a year, it's $126,000 to host one prisoner.
All right.
126 grand a year. That's triple the medium wage of Canadians.
That is actually a lot of money.
That's fucked. You can't. So prison obviously now deportation obviously a Dubai situation. But if there's somebody local from Canada,
Okay, so in Arizona, they paid $1.5 million for an execution drug.
I think it's a lot easier to. Kill
So
somebody
this
than
is in
one person.
2021. They paid $1.5 million.
That's Florida.
But okay, that's
No,
They
no,
have,
Arizona,
they
Arizona.
have, they have. Here you can get you can choose suicide yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
but
like they have,
that's
your-
still 6 years.
Here, you
versus
use the
if you
same
do
drug.
life in prison, is a lot more than 6 years.
Yeah,
Even if it costs
don't
that.
choose Florida style because they have like lobbyists and their pharmaceuticals charge what they want to charge for those drugs. Very, very different. Where here, I'm not saying that's the
Now
way.
again, we're not
it.
saying kill the drug dealers or not kill the people taking drugs, but people manufacturing to ruin lives.
No.
I don't think it's a good idea.
At the same time, I'd rather imprison them because I think death's too easy.
Yes, but then you're only burdening the taxpayer.
And,
No, put them to work.
There you go.
Make them fucking
Okay,
clean
I'm
up the
glad.
sites.
So this is what my idea. So I don't like prison. Prison is a unfunctional method. You just keep having to create bigger and bigger prisons.
I prefer Denmark system.
So this is one thing, guys. When you see me in politics, you're gonna see me lobbying about this. It's so funny. So this is what my actual plan would be if I was in Parliament, right? I want to put people who are functional for prison use. I put them into hard work for the military. Now I'm not talking about giving them a gun. I'm talking about military needs, military zones. They need digging. They need to build bridges. They need to build stuff, all that stuff. Put them into work for that. Teach them valuable skills, and then once their sentencing is done,
Essentially a rehabilitation program through the military.
Exactly. And what does that do? That gives us more members actually for the military. Once the people actually, because one thing I think is very not talked about is discipline. when a lot of times when I felt down in my life, and again I'm gonna say this myself, when I felt down in my life, you don't know what you're doing, you have no direction. You do feel a certainty of you want an easy way out, or you're confused what to do. But if you have skills where you're able to get jobs, a lot of these people who are homeless, they don't have skills that are valuable to it. And if you develop them skills, like for example, they know how to do electrical work, they know how to build stuff, they know how to do construction, they have a future. They might not be able to jump into drugs. And
Second, I think building things is very, very good for the brain.
like
especially
we need
the-
houses. Why don't we have free labor from people? Like if you are an unfunctioning member to society and you caused harm, and again, I don't want the death penalty, but if you, why not make it work so you can help the people out, the same people that they harm, they can actually.
What you're talking about is very close to the Denmark system. Ish doesn't like the Denmark system, but I
like
absolutely
it.
love
That's
love
the
it.
idea that I've always had.
So the Denmark system is you have 4 years in a rehabilitation system, like what you're saying. And I agree with that because prisons are a waste of time and money, and no one deserves.
Like, why would I function for you to sleep? Well, rather than you can create
Exactly.
productivity out of your.
Like there's only a handful of people in prison that come out better, and that's the guys who are wrongfully accused and are studying the bar exam to get themselves freed up.
But so I think using some sort of military, and you can help your military out. You have people who can do everything. Again, it just helps out our system. But keeping them in prison does absolutely nothing.
True.
Yeah, I would say the same with the drug dealers too, or the drug doers.
Yeah. And so here's another.
Or, no, my main thing would be put them in jail till they're actually sober, and then see if they actually want to change. Give them the options.
I don't
be like,
give
hey,
them options. Just don't
you're
give
gonna
them
do
options.
certain things that's gonna build society. So you're gonna help people, civil, build homes, learn a technique.
Again, I'm not talking about.
And do you want to get help? If you don't want to get help, stay in jail.
But you don't want. Like, I'm not talking about the jaywalker. I'm talking about the person.
Yeah, we're talking about.
Yeah,
these
we're
guys.
not
The
talking
jail-
about jaywalker.
But
no one
I'm
cares about the
saying
jaywalker.
if you're
I'm a
a drug
jaywalker.
dealer, you're a drug user, put them to work in the military. Give them skills that actually might benefit them life. Again, a lot of the time I think discipline and lack of being able to do anything is, like right now everybody from my generation and even 30s are saying I'm never going to buy a house. I'm just going to waste the money. That a lot of this mindset. That is a lot of mindset from a lot of people I'm seeing from around my age. When I talk to fellow peers and everybody, they don't even think about anything because they're like, oh, it's so hard, it's so far away, or so hard to do. I'm not even going to worry about it.
No, my sister bought a house, and
Your sister did great.
She's 29.
Yeah, I did it as well.
No, but Amin, you're looking at your sister. Average median age. Do you know what it's gone to?
It's 40.
54.
40.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
54,
40 plus.
no,
I know it is.
54
I definitely know it
Canada.
is.
Yes.
Because Canada is one of the most expensive.
It
I know,
is.
because like
It doesn't become an option because good luck getting a loan. You have to have a couple $100,000 wage.
do.
But now, so
Unless you can
I'm
work
going to tell you
the
some
system.
stats. So I remember I told you guys the stat about 66% of people whom their home prices won't fall down. Right now, on mortgages, in new mortgages in Canada, do you want to know how much down payments are paid by parents or relatives? 40% of loans for mortgages taking out have some sort of financial benefit from family.
Yeah, no, my
40%. That highest in the entire world. Now, of course, to an outside looker, they're just like, I'm not even going to try because there's no point in doing it. Am I correct? So a lot of time, so what does that do? People waste their money on other stuff, but people don't buy assets. They don't do other stuff, or they're like, oh, maybe I could just buy the stock market, do the stuff I can do, and then eventually when I get the money, I can do it. Right? It's a hard
It
process.
is a very hard process.
It's because here's the thing. Before the economy was what it was, and you had to have inflation, you had somebody working a part-time job able to afford a car, rent a place, all the schooling, part-time. There's not full-time. Now
Exactly.
people are working full-time, and you see you can barely get anything. You just get unmotivated. When you work every single day, you work 40 hours a week. If you can't get anything for yourself, you get unmotivated. So people look for small things they can buy. That's why they waste money. You don't get direction because you're like, hey, I can't establish anything. That's the where average young
I
person's
completely
at.
agree.
Yeah.
So I promise you guys, we're gonna be in Parliament one day because we're gonna fix this mess.
Sure.
But I think the first thing you need to do is actually like your boy Pierre. All right, the one big thing that he said is I knew in Vancouver almost half the cost of building a property is permits.
Yep.
Why is that the case? How on earth do you even get to that? It's just like sometimes
bureaucracy, man.
I think this is what it is. It's not just corruption. This is what I also think it is. Corruption is definitely there. There's no way that everyone's getting money out of this. So why would the person who's just eco there saying, "Oh, can we do this?" When I was going for my in Calgary, there's RC1 zoning, which is single family housing, and RC2 and RCG is where you can build townhomes and multiple homes, right? To do RC2 from RC1, do you know what the requirements are?
What?
You have to get an analyst to come to the property to do a soil sample, to do a tree sample. If you have any trees on your property, it's an extra $2,000 per tree. They have to make sure the tree is not a tree that's in danger or like it's not. And
But
then
here's that's another big thing.
and then after that, after you go through initial approval, because I've been through this process many times, like twice, not many times. Once you get that, once you have your building permits, right? So you pay $5,000 to $2,000 to $5,000 to the city for them to approve it. If they deny it, by the way, you don't get your money back. You have to redo it again and resubmit the money. But now, let's say you finally get processed, right? Now, once they approve your plans, the next step they do is you have to have a certain amount of trees, a certain amount of this, all right? Which is okay, great. You want to make sure you preserve good stuff, right? So then you have to hire which kinds of trees, which kind of this, and guess what? You need another specialist for. This is in Calgary.
Wait, can I just choose the trees myself?
No, you can't.
But I know better.
Yeah, but
I
you
have
can't.
way
You
better
can't. You
trees.
can't.
But this is one thing that off tangent. If you actually look at some of the biggest scam companies in the world, they're NGOs and environmental companies. They're always environmental.
So definitely, climate change is an issue, and it's not getting solved by these climate bullshit. Bullshit is just like you said, Greenland. There is no reason it should not have been made already. There is no reason it shouldn't have been built already.
Yeah.
What do you say? Just dig and do it. And I like the idea too. Underground, I love it.
Yeah,
it's very, very
exactly.
beneficial. You can build on top of it. Amazing, right?
Yeah.
Great. But like again, problems.
And one of the things is Alberta, Calgary soil is very clay-like. It will basically almost support itself. Just put it underground.
So, and then here's the question: how much money do you think you, me, and Ish have paid for these people to sit around a fucking table to get
And
nothing
all
done?
these-
How much money, bro? How much money for 5 years?
10% of my income because
So
my
all
taxes are 30%.
numerous amounts, and then what do they do? 15% increase in your house. So no, one thing that happened in Toronto, and Vancouver, which is great why the Calgary market grew so much, is people inherited their properties from their families,
Yeah.
but they can't pay for their properties.
Of course
Because
they
if you pay 15% tax on $1 million property, you think everybody's making 150 grand? You got a nice house, buddy. Just joking. It's a garbage house that you got from your parents, but that's just worth $1 million. But you can't afford to live there. You just can't afford it. Because the property tax by itself is killing you.
150 grand, yeah.
And this is not
Inheritance
one
tax.
thing our American counterparts won't understand is we don't pay property tax because in America you pay property tax on the price you purchase the property at.
Yeah.
So if you bought the house for 100 grand, regardless if it's $1 million now, you only pay property tax for 100 grand. In Canada, you every single year, whatever the new value that the city determines, and it's never going down, obviously, they base it off of that. So every year your property tax goes up.
Okay, so is that why a bunch of the apartments I'm looking at right now are way cheaper than before?
Mm-hmm. It just goes like that. But even apartments, then you get to condo fees, and condo fees are bullshit too. Nobody knows what the hell a condo fee does.
I'm trying
it
to
doesn't
figure
do anything.
I'm just trying to. Yeah. Because I've been trying to figure this out. I don't think they have them in England.
Condo fees are very rare. Well, again, but when you get to now,
You need it in England. England's cost is absolutely
in England, everything's a fucking townhouse.
It is, but-
and it's a tax. Everything's already taxed. as is.
Exactly. So, like I told you, how did you ever think that would be possible? You buy a car because you're broke, so you buy a car and then you have to pay tax on the car more than what the car is probably worth. It's
I'm very
unneeded.
mad about that.
Yeah, it's unneeded. You need to
Yeah.
get stuff done. You need to stop like over checking everything. Like you said, inspection. Do an inspection on the crucial parts of it, but you don't need an inspection every time something gets done, right?
Yeah.
Now a lot of builders do bullshit. So, but fine them. Why are you not finding them? Why are you letting them continue? If you know that builders, and there are builders who have a history of not doing it correctly, why are you letting them build?
Because they need them.
They don't need them. They can
They
hire so
don't.
many people. We have
A lot of people.
so many construction companies. But the problem is, the main thing is this: construction companies, what they do, and again, some families in construction, so they might hate me for this. And one of them told me the exact same thing. They're like, we don't want to build smaller houses because there's less profit in them. There's more profit in the bigger houses.
Okay, yeah, but that annoys the hell out of me because we need smaller houses as well.
Yeah, you need more contract living. You need higher up, but that doesn't make
Exactly.
money. That doesn't make as much money.
Bullshit.
So then how do you fix
And
it?
second, man, building with those, especially the up ones that you're talking about, getting the amount of permits you need from the government makes it so slow to
Those
build anything.
houses are so much better though. Like they're more comfortable, and also they take less space.
But the builders don't want to do that. The builders want to build what's going to make them money.
Yeah,
And
duplex
that's-
usually. Right?
Yes, and duplex because you
Quadplex,
you
whatever.
save a lot of money on a duplex for the builder, not for yourself. You still pay a lot. In Cornerstone, a duplex, one side of a duplex, is 700 grand.
Yeah.
What on
I
earth?
don't want to live in Cornerstone either. So why does it cost $700,000? No one wants to live in Cornerstone.
But there's
And-
people here who can't afford it, and that's why the builders keep building it, right? But again, the city has not. The city is like, we want to do more condensed unit. So a lot of the older neighborhoods, they made them RC2 automatically. That's actually how I got saved from the $5,000 payment.
Nice.
They automatically rezoned my house. Amazing, great.
Yeah, no,
'Cause
mine
I
has
was going
got
into
rezoned
RC2,
too.
and guess what? They approved me for RCG.
Sweet.
Yeah, so all the properties I have now are crazy high in value. But again, you want to know what happened? Because I did that, the property value of my house went like crazy high up, like over like 200 grand higher up. So I got to pay tax on that because they're like, oh yeah, technically you could build this. So then Ed's like, but there's nothing built here. What are you talking about?
Okay, so they're charging you more now.
Yes, they charged me 200 grand more because they're like, you could build an eightplex here. Is there a fucking eightplex there making me money? There's no eightplex there. The plans actually are to make a forward eightplex there, right?
Yeah.
On the land, because I can do it now, but I haven't done it yet. But
Yeah.
they're like, oh, but you could sell this house for a lot more to a builder because they could build. But I
Yeah,
haven't
this is
sold it.
hypotheticals.
This is completely hypothetical.
That's ridiculous. They should not be taxed.
Buddy, welcome to the government, bro.
Like we have.
This
worse.
is why. Do you know average Canadians paying nearly 60% in pure taxes? So
Probably.
we're paying working more than half our.
Yeah, it
life.
it does not make sense. You cannot tax them to this.
And
You
there's
know?
hidden taxes on top of that you're probably
Yep.
not seeing
Oh.
because when they tax businesses, you're just getting those taxes.
Something that annoys the hell out of me. You don't worry about this because it's me and him. Syntax. The amount of syntax we have is ridiculous.
Syntax.
A tax on beer.
Oh yeah.
But we don't do it that much.
We don't do it that much, but at the same
But
time,
like somebody who's like a regular.
So when
My dad.
here's
buddy.
what. Yes, but
Yeah,
when
like we do it like once every 2 weeks. Or
Yeah,
maybe
something like that. But
But
here-
we're not like buying like a.
here's
12
the
pack or
thing
something.
though. Here's the thing though. One thing that I love about England, they had very low syntax. You know how much my nice beer costs? Because I like my Heineken.
But the sales tax is not there. The one tax the UK is not here.
£2.
But it's implementing now. It is implementing now.
Is it
There will be
implementing?
a sales tax soon. I love that system. I was like, no sales tax, amazing. Why are you like once you make your money? Why do you have to continuously pay on that money? It makes no sense to me. And then
It's because they're terrible. Like I said, government loves to inflate.
they just want your money.
Mad
It's
about-
also bureaucrat. Like that's the one thing. You know what? In all honesty, a lot of people be hating on Doge. I'm like,
No.
the fuck
So
up that
the
shit.
thing is this. So here's the thing with Doge. Okay, any money saved is money gained. Okay, we need that same system here. We need somebody to actually check to see, where is this money going? And so there are scam artists. The scam artists are those people who have the firms where like you have to consult me before doing this green light.
Or
No,
it's
I
government
don't.
having their own businesses on the side and like these government workers.
Doug
who
Ford during COVID conveniently had his own company make a lot of money who had stickers. So like stay 5 feet away, all Doug Ford, buddy. Nobody else could contract to that. That sounds like a very big,
Yeah, he gave
very
it to himself.
Yeah, that sounds like a very big contract that I don't know if other businesses were consulted with.
Our environmental minister.
And you
gave
have to. You have no
himself a-
choice, or you get fined. You have to. You have no choice.
Yeah, our environmental minister gave himself a
Who
$25 million
owns
contract.
all the elevator shit in Alberta then? And escalator shit.
I have no idea.
Because like that rule where we're not allowed to walk up the escalator and it's a $250,000 fine is really starting to piss me off.
Yes, Chinook, buddy. The same
Well,
thing.
Chinook built
I think
staircases
today
next to it
was
now.
a very long day, but it was a good conversation. All right, next week we're gonna have Doug Ford on here. All right, he might be a little Chinese.
I might slap the shit out of him. It's actually Doug Ford.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day.